All right. We're doing some carbon today. More hearts, I guess. I'm already starting to get bored of hearts, which is insane. But you may notice something's a little different about this piece. It's pink. And the interior is pink, the exterior is pink, interior, this section is pink. So that's pretty cool. Amanda, how are you? I think what I want to do on this one is just like a few really big hearts. I think that's the vibe I have going on for this. You know what I mean? Yeah, Olive is very happy over there. What's up, Dragon? Well, I have to go to work soon myself, so we're just trying to enjoy the morning best we can. So I did one of these this morning already. And I also, so I was thinking about it. So I have this pink underglaze. Oh, hell yeah. I'd love to hear that. So we got pink underglaze everywhere, right? I'm thinking about taking a black thing, a black squeezy bottle, and like doing like a black outline on each heart. So I think I might do that. At some point. I don't know what stage I should do that at. How many teapots we talking about? So that's what I'm thinking. Big hearts. Here, I want to show you guys the one I did this morning. So when I first got up today, I did this one, which I really like. So I just want to have like a plethora of different types. I'm really digging this one though, but it took an obscene amount of time to carve it. So I don't want to do them all like that. I think the pink underglaze is going to add a lot to these. And then these ones are kind of nice because I can just have hearts. They're just cut out. I might even fire those just because why not? You know? So I was making these yesterday and I actually started making 7 of them. Thanks. Thanks. I started making 7 of them and annoyingly, I broke 3 of the 7. So we only have 4 today to carve. And I've discovered with the carving, if I don't carve these big hearts, if I'm doing like the smaller carving for hearts, each pot takes about 2 hours of working time. It doesn't include any of the drying times and stuff like that. It's just like the time that's actually on it. Each one takes about 2 hours to do. They take a lot longer than the holes. The holes take time, but these ones take longer. So gonna have to charge more, or I won't be in a good financial space. I'm really excited to go cone 6. I'm gonna fire 2 of these at cone 6 with a clear glaze, one with a clear glaze and then one with a white glaze. I know this is cone 10 clay, but for teaware it doesn't really matter. And I kind of want to get a rough idea of what the cone 6 stuff will look like. So I think that'll be nice. And this part of my apartment looks so bare, but you literally look a little bit there and there's just like tons of plants, and you look a little bit here and there's tons of artwork. But like this one spot is pretty barren. So one of the reasons I never really wanted to do carvings like this is that one of the reasons I really like the double walled pots is that you don't necessarily see the interior layer unless you really look. I I actually don't like that you can see the interior layer. It means it's easier to explain to people and they can get the idea more, but or quicker. But as far as like my aesthetics go, I actually like it less. I like the idea of the interior being there, but you don't actually get to consume it. But I don't know. I have a lot of friends or a lot of people, and I don't know if a lot of people I see online now who are using this technique and they're doing more carved out stuff, and it seems like they're actually more successful at selling than I am. Um, so clearly, people like to see the innards. I mean, even the few pieces that I did that showed the innards, they sold immediately, even though I didn't like them as much. Um, so I already know that it's true. They really do, and well, it's not because I don't think it's because they want the guts, but they can't. I think most people can't conceptualize two parts unless they can physically see the interior. Like it just doesn't make sense. By the way, when it gets warmer out and I can be in my studio all the time, I think what we're gonna do is stop making double walled pots all in one sitting. For, I've realized that I can wait for the whole part to come out. I can do this part. I mean, I made these last night. And so if I do them next day, it's totally fine. And so when we're in the studio, that means we can make way more work. And then the next day will be the carving and all this fun stuff. But I think it'll make it so I can actually make more in the time I'm in the studio, which then I'm hoping means I can just have more work in general. That's the thought, at least. I think it makes sense. right? Okay. So, Dragon, tell me more about the teapots. Tell us more about the teapots. Kyusu, milliliter side, back handle, top handle, for a specific tea. Also, we should pick a date for our next tea party soon. Hell yeah. I assume weekends are usually better for everybody for our tea parties. Okay, fair. How much clay are you using? Or are you just kind of eyeballing it? Actually, this is a question for both of you guys. Do you weigh out your clay before you use it? Damn it. Yeah, it does. I don't know what to do. This is, I'm in my house, so I don't have clay or anything. I guess I don't even need to do what I'm doing on these ones. I don't think it necessarily even gives any extra looks to it. I was holding my fingers differently today because I noticed that my fingernails were carving in to the underglaze, and so I was trying to avoid it, so I was holding it differently than I normally do. I don't think I can patch that. Well, that's frustrating. I guess I'm down to 3 out of the 7 that I made yesterday. I should have just cut them off and just been done with it. I just broke it again. Um, I could have just left it like that and been done. It would have been great. Um, I don't know what to do. I got a complete loss on this one. I'm just gonna keep carving this real quick, and then what I want to do aggressively is just cut it in half. Um, but I think that is an emotional reaction to something that I'm trying to not be emotional towards. I just ruined it more, so cool. Okay, love that for me. So I kind of see the appeal of these smaller hearts now. They don't break as easily. Yeah. Put this one to the side and just pretend it didn't exist for a second. If it was stoneware, I think I could fix it. But porcelain is just so finicky that like where are the chances? I don't know. I I if they weren't connected by such a small amount, I think I'd be into the idea. But that's okay. It happens. It's it's fine. All right, we're gonna make flowers out of this next one, like little heart flowers. So Amanda, tell me about your day. What are you getting up to today? What are you working on? Tell us about last night. Tell us all about it. I kind of like these. Hell yeah. Production Potter over there. God damn. Hell yeah. Yeah, I really like the video you just sent me. I think it's super cool. Oh, hell yeah. Gotta love a good thick pot. All good, Dragon. Appreciate you. I don't know why that just made me think of it, but you know who we haven't heard from a really long time is Sharp. I wonder how she's doing. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Speaking of design, I have a quick design question for you guys. I have these bigger heart patterns, right? Should I make small ones in between or just leave them slightly bigger? I'll text her after this live. See what the deal is. See how the pregnancy is going. Hell yeah. Can't go wrong with flowers. These are little heart flowers. So I have these bigger ones here. There's blank spots though between. Should I make smaller versions of the same things on the sides? We can cut these all out first and then think about that again because I can't quite decide. I don't know if it would actually be a beneficial thing or not. I'm kind of leaning towards not now that I'm carving these out, just in the sense of it'll probably get too crowded. I love that idea. Let's do that instead. That sounds like a way better idea. I was also just contemplating, remember how I was talking about using black underglaze to like go over the hearts? I could also, scratch them out and then do a black underglaze over them so they're highlighted. I think the only question then becomes at what point is what we're adding too much? You know what I mean? It's really easy to just keep adding things in pottery, as you guys probably know. It's a lot harder to stop at the fuck, 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 fuck. My tool just caught. No. I think that'll be fine, maybe. But it just flexed upward. I think what I learned from the last heart one that we just did that broke is that I'm not actually going to do, this is too soft. So if I'll clean stuff up, but I don't know if I want to cut through. You know what I mean? It was weird getting the timing correct when I was making these because of having to apply the underglaze on the interior part before you put it into the next part. Um, I had to keep torching things more so than I normally would, which made the construction really finicky. But because I had to torch the things as soon as they got underglaze applied, otherwise they were going to be too wet and they were just going to break. So it was kind of a weird area to be in. What do we think? They look like little shamrocks. Yeah. Hearts and flowers. So I'm really curious to see how the clear glaze at cone 6 works with this underglaze and the white glaze, and which one we like more. I'm going out on a limb and I'm gonna already kind of guess that the clear glaze is gonna be nicer. Because it's the clear glaze that my student has that I'm essentially just gonna fire in his next electric firing, and I'm gonna use some of his glaze for it. Um, it crackles a lot of crazing. It's really pretty. I know I said I was not going to do what I'm doing right now, but I'm just being careful. And I'm not going as is deep. And if this all works out, I'm going to buy um, some more red underglaze and some purple underglaze, because I think the purple will stay at cone 6. And then I'll just be doing mainly underglazes and clear glazes. I'm not so interested in cone 6 glazes. I think if I wasn't doing atmospheric firing or high firing at all, I would do stuff. But because it's not like I'm stopping the high fire stuff, I think there's no reason. Oh, can we talk about the incredibly high price for like trimming tools? Like, I saw a new company online, and each trimming tool is like $110. Um, why? I've never bought an expensive tool like that before. I guess I'm not necessarily asking um, why they're charging that much. I understand everybody's trying to make a living. It's more of like, what are you getting out of $110 trimming tool that you can't get out of my $12 trimming tools? Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna reach out to one of these companies and see if they'll send me um, a free sample of a trimming tool to do I don't know if they want to do a little collab or something. I'm not popular enough really to warrant that, but doesn't hurt to ask, because I will not spend that much money on a trimming tool. Um, unless of course like I get it and it's game changer, and then I'm like, this is the most amazing thing that I've ever experienced. Why have I not been using this my whole life? You know what I mean? But I just can't see the value on my end. But that doesn't mean it's not there. Okay, so what I was doing here was just slightly carving down the edges to see if that was enough, but I don't think it is. So what I'm going to do is just let that set up a little bit and then deal with this in a little bit. So we got one more that I can to do. And does anybody have any suggestions on patterning on this one? The two successful ones we have are the one we just did, so I'm not going to show it again. And then this is the one that I, again, started with this morning. And I really like this one. So I think I might do this again. I think that's really successful. Though I'm looking at the one we just did, and I think it's quite successful. So another option that might be kind of interesting is to make a like panel, and then in the panel we do hearts, if that makes sense. Let's try that actually. I kind of like this idea. Because one of my favorite double wall pieces that I've kept for myself has these panels, and I've only ever done one with panels with holes, and I kept it for myself. So I'm not trying to make these panels perfect or anything by any stretch of the imagination. So some of them are smaller than others. And so the idea that I have is that in these panels, there'll be hearts, but the hearts won't always be full hearts. They'll be half hearts and things like that. So like, we'll start at the edges and work our way down. We'll have upside down hearts here. So where it's like not connecting. I actually don't know how well you guys can see. That just looks like a butt right there. Interesting. I feel like this is going to take a really, really long time to carve out, which I'm not really looking forward to doing right now, but that's okay. A lot of these just look like butts to me. This particular one's gonna take me like an hour and a half to carve out. I don't think I even have enough time to do this right now. But let's start it. We're just gonna get one panel done, and then I'm gonna take a break and have some tea. And then I gotta go teach an outdoor program and then take a bunch of kids skiing. So this part of it's not gonna take a long time. The part that's gonna take a ton of time is the carving, the thinning out the walls on each piece. So that's the idea. And then they're gonna be patterned in each segment. So that's gonna be the thing for this one. Okay, I think I'm done for now though. I'll see you guys later.